Before we start, we would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we're recording on. For me, that's the Wangaburra clan.
And for me, it's the Wurundjeri peoples. Good morning, good evening, wherever you're listening. We hope we're in your ear holes and you're having a real good day.
Always. We always hope you're having a really good day.
Look what I'm drinking out of.
Oh,
You can't see in listener land, but it's the Angie and Yvie coffee mug that I got us made when we first started Gogglebox. I'm drinking a tea, and you know when you drink a tea and you just get the sweats?
yeah.
I'm like, why am I keep drinking it? Because it's bloody good.
Oh, who doesn't love a nice cup of tea
And I put honey in it, so it's lovely.
on a really hot day? Just to make you extra sweaty.
Well, you know what Susan Beryl always said? Hot tea will cool you down. You drink tea to cool you down. It cools you down. The Indians can't be wrong. Been doing it for years. Ceylon tea.
And Susan Beryl was never wrong.
And-
Best believe that.
Well, yeah, let's God bless you, Mum. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. to the VIP.
Oh,
Dear.
You're wearing my dress today as well. So that's lovely.
Yeah, Haz, you fully didn't realise that this is yours.
I actually am kind of remembering it now that I can see it.
Where does this belong? It's
That's
like
a
it's like
renegade.
rat's
You call that a
tail.
renegade, the one that got away in the back in the top paddock.
Yeah.
That's
like a
what we're
little-
talking about is Angie's hair. Her hair is falling down. I went to the hairdresser.
Why are you covering it?
Oh, because I slept on it and it's gone all funny. But I'll show you it later. But it's nice. I'm lifting it nicely with some highlights, and
Oh,
it
that's
was so nice. I had this lovely French hairdresser. French accents, they're just the best. And we talked politics, we talked racism, we talked misogyny, we talked everything. And she was just so wonderful. And
Oh,
you know, just talking to wonderful young women, and you think, oh God, women are great.
they truly are.
Yeah, look, we're two of them right here. Right here. Do you remember when we did our episode about going to the doctor, and like I was talking about how when every time I go to the doctor, they just say, "Oh, you're fat."
Yeah.
You know, I could go with absolutely any ailment, and they will say, "Oh, you're a bit fat. Maybe you should lose some weight." We've had quite the few emails, haven't we?
Mm.
From people about that.
Yeah.
It's really sad how many of us there are. I think that we need to really, we said this back then, we need to really start holding them accountable, these general practitioners who, do you remember me telling you about that woman who couldn't eat and she went to the gastroenterologist and she waited for a really long time to get in because they were so incredibly good at what they did. And the first thing they said to her when she said, "I haven't been able to eat," they said, "Well, is that really a bad thing?
Yeah.
Look at the size of you." And she left and ended up having bowel cancer.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
she could have lost her life because
disgusting.
of that one doctor.
Yeah.
Because of that one judgment that they made that they think is just such a throwaway line. I reckon we should read out a few of these stories, these really awful stories that we thank our listeners for writing into us, and they're, you know, incredibly vulnerable, and we're really appreciative that people have shared these things with us, and at the same time really fucking sorry that this is happening to them as well.
So we had one email from a lady who wanted to comment on the GPs in relation to periods, which a lot of people with wombs have suffered many a times. And one of the biggest things is how the pill will fix everything. And this lady has said, "I recently took my 10-year-old daughter to the doctor because she has started her period," which 10 is so incredibly
So young.
young, and being misinformed at that age just sets you up for failure from there on out. That's just my side note. So she started her period when she was 10 and it was so bad, like maternity pad in the matter of hours. That's how heavy it was.
Oh.
And the doctor's first recommendation was the pill. When I told them I wasn't comfortable with the pill, they just said, when she has a baby, it will hopefully settle down. What the fuck? She is 10, for Christ's sake. Surely this
Oh.
deserved a bit more sensitivity and common sense than just saying it will settle after she has a baby. Then she said, anyway, ran over, just wanted to let Angie know she wasn't alone. I 100% know I'm not alone because my inbox nearly
full.
every day, especially when I do a post about periods or anything to do with the menstrual system or a womb, it just blows up for days and days. And I feel as if it's my duty because I've been so honest with my struggles only recently, because I never knew anything about it either for so long, to respond to these women, because so many of them are learning stuff through me. And I'm not even a professional. But I think obviously knowledge is power and shared knowledge is even more powerful. So if you can be I can be the lesson, I'm fine with that, because I've already been through the disgusting ups and downs and traumas and mental torture of it all. So I'd rather a 10-year-old go through what I've been through, but with knowing what I know. So that's
Learning a
one little
lesson through you.
silver
Yep.
lining in this clusterfuck of sorrow. But the fact that this is still happening now, like this last year or this year, that doctors are still saying to mothers, to their 10-year-olds getting their period, go on the pill at 10. You haven't even fully formed. Your insides are still, you are a child.
Let's just throw more estrogen at them.
And they want you to put this synthetic, I mean, like, I'm not well educated enough to go to town on the pill. I personally can't stand the pill just because my body doesn't respond to it well, and I've done enough of my own research for me. But I would never give a child the pill. This child needs somebody to listen to her, and she needs a really good holistic practitioner, a naturopath, somebody that focuses on women's hormones. These people are general practitioners.
We spoke about that in that episode as well. We talked about what the term general practitioner means and how they are not specialists. They are not the ones who should be really diagnosing you with anything or prescribing you with something that is a bit of a throwaway prescription for them. They need to have referred that woman's daughter onto a specialist.
Somebody else.
An endocrinologist who does hormone therapy.
Is it like an ego thing for them where they're like, oh, wait, no, I probably should know because I'm a general practitioner, and everybody has to go to them first, right? So was it like this ego thing where they're like, oh, no, I know.
I know.
No,
yeah, I know what I'm doing.
It's like, well, no, you don't have to know because you only generally know about everything. So that's why we pay you to send us on. And it's okay that you don't know anything because you're not supposed to. Nobody is. That's why we have specialists that specialize in hormones or endo or.
Yeah. I think the best thing that we can do as patients is arm ourselves with the knowledge that the general practitioners are only that gateway doctor. When you go in, you ask, you say, we need a referral to a specialist because this is happening to a 10-year-old child and you're probably not the person who has experience in this.
And if they don't give it to you, don't feel medically gaslit. Go somewhere else.
Go to another doctor.
I find when I was younger, especially like growing up with a mum who would take obviously a doctor's word as Bible as well because, you know, they don't know any better. We would just listen to them and we would just be like, sure, they must be right because they are the doctor. They're the educated ones. Whereas now I think it's so important because I even still do it even with my GP. Well, she's not my GP. My GP is in Sydney and she knows me well. But when I'm here, if I just need a referral to my specialist.
Yeah.
She was even like, wait, what's this for? And I'm like, well, I have surgery on Monday and my referrals just run out. So like, I just need you to.
Yeah, do the
paperwork.
paperwork.
Paying you $80, just do it.
Do the paperwork.
My specialist has literally asked me to do it. She was like, wait, I've got to check this. And then she looked it up and she was like, but why? I'm like, just give it to me. You're getting your $80 for 5 minutes. And then I said, I really want to get my bloods checked. My naturopath has just passed away and we check my bloods all the time because they go up and down because of all my chronic illnesses and whatever. And because I've been under a lot of stress. And she checked them from August and she goes, no, they were fine back then.
Oh,
August.
my God.
It's February.
5 months ago.
I was like, I don't feel good though. Like I can't get out of bed. I'm extremely anxious. I'm sleeping a lot more. My skin has gone crazy. I know my body is not doing well right now. I know I have surgery coming up on Monday, but I would also just like my bloods to give to my new
And she
holistic
shouldn't even
practitioner.
question that.
She said no.
August is actually 7 months away ago.
She goes, no, do it after surgery. And I was like, okay, thank you.
Before and after surgery would have really helped, actually.
Yeah.
Would have really helped.
Well, I trusted in my body and I was like, Corinne would have given them to me, but unfortunately I don't have her anymore. So I was just like, thanks for my piece of paper. I know in my body it is not right and I will be going elsewhere.
Yeah.
So do that and trust yourself because that's a perfect example. She did not listen to me. She'd never met me before. She was just going off what she thinks is right, not even knowing anything about me.
Yeah. The mother who has the 10-year-old daughter, keep trying to find the right specialist for your daughter. Look into alternative medicines as well. I highly recommend seeing women as specialists for women's problems, but, keep trying to find a specialist because at the end of the day, a specialist who's done absolutely everything, the bloods and all of the exams and all of the things, the pill may be the right thing for your child, but you have to be absolutely sure and it be the last resort. We can't write anything off, but look at everything and leave no stone unturned, and of course that woman probably won't, but the fact that she's, spoken to someone that just so easily threw away such a just do this, and because I really don't care what happens to your daughter. That's at the end of the day is the point that we're making, that most doctors really don't care about us at the end of the day. I have a quite a nice GP here and she's lovely. We chat and she's really understanding and everything, but she really focuses on my weight and as the cause of all of my problems. And I have to kind of, keep her away, but she kind of pulls me back all the time. And past conditioning is really coming through on the shame from me and I just feel ashamed. And like, this is my fault. I've done this to myself. And she's just put me on a care plan. Well, booked me in to do a care plan with the dietitian and the nurse to take all my weight and my inches and whatever, all of the things that you need to get done, BMI, of course. And when I knew that we were going to have this conversation on the podcast just before we started recording today, I quickly picked up my phone and I rang the receptionist there and I said, hi, I'd like to cancel my care plan. And she said, do you want to reschedule it? I went, no, I don't want to have it. I don't want to have it. I have to start standing up for myself that I didn't ask for it. And all it would do is make me walk away feeling like I have got to lose weight to be celebrated and accepted in a health way when I'm actually a pretty healthy human with a few problems that have nothing to do with my weight. So I have to keep reminding myself, and I was really glad that I had that trigger that we were talking about this, because I was like, I've got to be that person that was on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, that refused to do a weigh-in. I have to still be that person every day when, I'm in a doctor's surgery and they're going, well, your BMI is incredibly high. I have to say the BMI was conducted and made up by 4 French doctors who were all weighed and were the same height. And it's a complete piece of bullshit. We have another letter that we received from an anonymous person who actually happens to be a man. So this is a really interesting one, and it goes with something that I was just talking about. My mum took me to my local doctor as a last resort when I was suffering badly from an eating disorder, anorexia. I refused to acknowledge that I had a problem at the time, so my mum needed support to know how to treat it, as every parent does. I've added that, by the way. The doctor flat out said there was nothing wrong with me because anorexia is a female disease and boys don't have disordered eating. This was so damaging to my mum, who was just trying to find a way to stop me from going into hospital. Like, holy shit. Holy shit.
Camping, fuming, raging.
Haven't I said to you before, actually, I think we were in the jungle when I said it is not, we are not making it better for women. We're not moving forward with body inclusivity and disordered eating stigma. What we're now doing is just as bad as it's always been for women, but we're just bringing the men in now.
Yeah.
We're bringing men in. Men are becoming just as disordered as we are through all of the mediums, watching all of the things and the photoshopping and the seeing, all of the things that aren't real. None of it's real, all fake, but men are getting all the work done. Men are getting, have to be looking a certain way. They've got to be thin. They've got to be, have all the hair transplants. And, we're not making it better. We're just doubling it. And the fact that a doctor would say that.
That sounds like off a movie. That sounds like some made up shit.
Yeah.
But it's so real that you don't want to believe it.
Fact is often worse than fiction, isn't it?
Yeah. To think that so many people would have boys and make them feel that having something that is so damaging to your body, mind, spirit, oh, that's a girl thing. On top of it already being so detrimental, you then feel like, oh, wait, I'm a girl. I've got a girl's thing. What the fuck?
I know. You already told us, a boy, that to be a girl in any sense
is the worst
possible thing that could happen to you. But the fact that a doctor did that, like that's a doctor. That is a doctor.
Oh, it just really, you know what? It really makes you think. For so long, not even just women, we've all been so incredibly medically gaslit.
Mm-hmm.
It is so important now that we are talking about so many things so openly. We need to go hard out with the websites where you can report this type of thing, the apps where we can start putting, 2 stars because Dr. Philip Douche Canoe said, I should go on the pill and I'm only, my daughter's only 10 or I have disordered eating but I'm a boy and that doesn't happen. Like, we need to start doing these things and then people go, oh, hang on, Dr. Rosemary knows all about disordered eating.
Yes.
Or we need to start talking and holding them accountable so these people can start doing their research, being held accountable, or fuck off and retire.
Yeah, and get another career. I think the takeaway from this part of our podcast is start reporting. Even if it has to be anonymous, even if, you don't want to put your name to it, put it on a Yelp review, whatever it is.
What we're going to do is we're going to research this, and if there's not a really prominent out there one, we need to create one, girl. This would be amazing, and start doing recommendations for great specialists through people, naturopaths, whatever it is, anything woo-woo as well that might help with wombs and anxiety, and then start saying, don't go there for this. And people need to be held accountable because it's just making it worse.
All of our doctors, from now on, I might start doing this. From now on, every time I walk into a appointment, I'm going to say, I'm going to record this so I can refer to it because I don't remember things well.
I reckon they wouldn't let you.
Well, I'm just going to say you're going to have to. It's it'll be good for me if I need to remember something later. And if we all start recording.
Yeah, but you have to let them know. Otherwise it's illegal, right?
Yeah, you have to let them know.
That's actually such a good idea. And if they say no, that should instantly be a gut instinct to
get
you
out of there.
To know that they are not going to give you the information that your body in that moment requires, and you should just bugger off.
Yeah. If they say no, just say, well, that's a red flag, and walk out of there and make an appointment with someone that is completely transparent about the medical advice that they're going to give you because they are that wholly confident in what they're saying. Most of them, they see you for that 15-minute block and you're out of there, gone. They never think of you again. Like, to actually go and do the research after the appointment and then make a phone call, that's almost unheard of.
I was about to say, I feel like that's unheard of these days.
More of them. So imagine if we had more of them, those doctors. The last integrated doctor I had, she was so dreadful. I kept saying to her, oh, wait, I'll write this down. And she goes, no, I'll put it in the email. I'll put it in the email. Every time I said it, she says, no, don't worry, it'll be in the email. That email was so useless to me that I rang her. I texted her and she was so rude to me. She said, I am on leave. And I'm like, but you didn't put it in the email what I needed. So I really needed to know. And she was rude again. And I was like, oh, I wish I had just recorded this 40-minute appointment. I don't remember anything. And she's not put it in the email properly.
Nobody does remember that much
No
information.
one. So we should start recording our interactions.
I think that should be a must for any sort, because all these appointments cost so much money.
$600 I walked away. $600. And that was before I went down to the dispensary.
She don't care. She gets her $600 a minute. She don't care what you be doing.
I'm going to make a complaint. I'm going to make a strongly worded letter.
This is why we need that friggin' app. You could have
right.
put all this down in the app so the next person with $600 doesn't have to go waste their damn time either.
You know what? You're right. And even if I just do a review somewhere on their website or on Google or something.
Do it, girl. I reckon everybody should. Well, you know what, girl? Good chat.
Great chat.
It's such a great chat. We're full of great chats. But
great chat, but that means that it was a lie, whatever is before the but.
Never a lie. Right. No lies up in here. But speaking on the whole health situation, after surrendering more so this last week, trying to surrender more so this last week to the passing of my friend / beautiful naturopath Karim, I've decided to go back into, sometimes when your mind's so loud, the egoic mind just takes over and you're just stuck in your shit and everything hurts. And like you said to me the other day, physical pain makes mental pain worse. And then you're just this pain and you're angry. You're not angry at anyone, but you just feel like a mole.
Yes.
But it's got nothing to do with anybody else. So I thought, you need to stop sitting like this because it's not serving you. It's not serving anybody else. And I started to get back into my meditations, my Vedic meditation. I had a beautiful session with my guru. Well, his name's Jeff, but he's got like a guru name. I just can't think of it right now. But everybody laughs because he's a guru called Jeff. They're like, did you make that up? I'm like, no. And as soon as I surrendered and started to tap out of this constant angry thing I was in, instantly spirit came back. And I've had 3 different women come into my life this last 5 days offering me, without me like saying much on my social media, I've kind of gone off grid because I've just not felt like myself, offering me, like one lady was like, oh, I just had this feeling from spirit that you need a womb healing, an old friend of mine. And I was like, I have my surgery on Monday. I will definitely need a womb healing after that.
Yep.
I had an old psychic who lived around here who ended up becoming a friend because she rescues dogs and we just spoke about dogs all the time, wrote me for my birthday and was like, do you have something coming up? I feel like you need like a session. And I was like, yes. All through Corinne too, I reckon. And I couldn't get into this other lady before surgery and I desperately wanted to see her and she takes months and months to get into. Boom, tomorrow. She's like, oh, I've had a cancellation. Come in. As soon as I stopped acting off that just constant anger because bad things kept happening to me and I'm in so much pain. And I kept attracting more pain from that energy. And then I sat with it and I was like, nah, I need to do more. And within 3 days, tell no lie, people started to reach out to me. And that to me is such an important thing, mainly probably more so I can only speak for women, when you sit with that and start asking for what you need and what your body wants and what your higher power. It's very woo-woo. Some people might not sit well with this, but I personally, it works really well for me because I'm very intuitive. Things just started to happen and I'm obviously not healed from it, but it's just made me feel so much more safe. And one of the things the lady said was she was like, I was doing my prayers last night and for people. And she said she woke up and somebody told her, which I feel is Corinne or it could be Nanny, I need to drink apple, ginger, carrot, and beetroot juice every morning before surgery. How weird is that? She was just like, by the way, Spirit said this. And she said by the 14th. I didn't tell her the date of the surgery. And I was like, oh, that's some woo-woo shit. And that's what I've been doing.
Good.
It's so magical. Like, I just love stuff like that. But for these last few weeks, I've just been so cross and nothing was coming to me and constant little things just kept adding up. And now I'm starting to see that I've changed my mind frame and surrendered and wanted and asked for help, and it's actually happened.
Yeah, it happens like that in an incredible way, that the universe really does have our backs in that way, that when you start to surrender and ask for the help that you need and start to make just tiny, tiny changes towards being where you want to be, the universe will start going, good, here you go, and here you go, and here you go. Here's another thing. And you start then getting that feeling of, I'm on the right track. It's that whole right
and it
track
makes
thing.
you want to do more.
Yeah, exactly.
And the more you give to people, I think a lot of women find it selfish, but the more you give to yourself, you fill up your cup, and then the more you can give to others.
Exactly.
And that's what I miss the most. I can't give anything to anyone else at the moment because I have nothing left in me.
Yeah, that's right. I saw a really good meme the other day of flowers getting watered through a watering can. And the meme basically said, you know, when you're always taking care of someone else, you always have to remember that you need to be being taken care of and taking care of yourself as well. And there was a hose going into the watering can. So, you know, you being the watering can that you have to keep bringing in as well.
I love it. You know what? That was a really nice chat.
Mm-hmm.
Good talk, guys.
So lovely.
We hope that resonated with you in some way. I've got my crystals here. Eat, sleep, sage, repeat.
Thank you for sending us your emails and DMs. Yeah. We really appreciate you being so vulnerable. So
that is hard to do.
It is.
That is very hard to do.
Very hard to do, and really appreciate it. Have a lovely week. We'll talk to you next week.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. Oh, this could go forever. Bye.
Goodbye.